So, und wir drehen den Ton bitte ab.
15-2, Take 3.
Set. Und bitte.
I think for everyone involved, this project was very much a shot in the dark. But for that, it turned out absolutely marvelously. The idea for the book came to me in a dream itself, actually, which is why it felt quite fitting to bring the element of a dream into the book as well. The message that the film conveys is something that's very personal to me, something that sits deep with me, and is something that is very specific to the person that I became, or the person that I am now. It felt very organic to try and put this message into this kind of project. So I had the idea and I knew what I wanted the film to show. So the challenge really was to make that fit to the tools that we had on hand and try and execute that idea. While writing the book, the things that I thought about, of course, were where we were going to shoot this, and the locations, both in the story as well as for us in the project and the process of shooting, were a very, very important part and were kind of put in place as I went along writing the book. Of course, this is all home to me, the places where we shot at, so it was quite easy to map out how we wanted to have the scenes take place and whether the action that we had planned for that specific scene would work in that location. So on the Sunday before shooting, we would go out and have a last check on these locations and discuss the blocking and the shots that we wanted to make so that we knew better what we wanted to do the next following days. Parallel to that, on the Sunday, everybody else arrived and we prepped the gear and got everybody on the same page, wrote call sheets, and the last question that I had on mind was answered just before I turned my phone off to go to bed. And after, I think, what was 4.5 hours of sleep, I got up again and it was the first day of shooting. The Monday, the first day, was definitely the longest day. I think we started shooting at 7 in the morning and we wrapped at about 11 at night. And it was for sure a baptism by fire, as it always is on new sets, but this time especially. And I think it was great that way because we knew that the days were only going to get easier after this. Probably not logistically, but definitely in terms of the amount that we had to shoot.
Aus, danke.
Ich bin leid getan.
Also Erfolg, wenn du dich letztlich das erste Licht ein bisschen
What was so great about this set for me, and I think a lot of other people, was the lovely atmosphere that everybody was working in. Everybody was really there to enjoy what we all enjoy doing, which is making movies. And everybody was excited despite having slept very little, and it was all a very, very smooth experience because everything had been well planned ahead. Everybody worked very harmoniously together, nothing fell out of order, and we just had smooth sailing throughout the entire week.
Oh, kannst du da bleiben? Nicht geil.
Können wir die beiden noch ein bisschen näher rücken?
Tom spielt einfach auch mit.
Marco, wenn sie sich umdreht, also wenn das irgendwo
Ja, also generell im Breakdance auch.
Ja, semi, also ich glaube halt in den Take rein und dann läufst du so ein bisschen um die Kamera rum und wir sind ja auf dem Slide und wir ziehen dann mit dir zurück. Ja, wunderbar scharf am anderen, wenn du geredet hast. Und während ich das singe, wie ich bin zu weit rechts und Anna hat sich Space wenn sie so zu lang ist. Danke aus. ein Slide ganz am Anfang also nicht bis zum Ende durch. Ja, und dann noch ein Detail. Fertig.
I had very, very little sleep during this week, but me personally, it didn't even bother that much. For some reason, I was still able to concentrate, and it was only made easier by the vibe that was very present on set, that everybody was into the material, everybody was ready to do what they needed to do, and it was very much just like a bunch of friends, much more than colleagues, just practicing a hobby. And I think that's what made that week so memorable. And it wasn't even a full week, because after 5 days, of course, it was all already over. I try my best to take every opportunity I possibly can to express my gratitude, because I think it's absolutely not to be taken for granted that artists specifically support each other in their journey. I think it's a beautiful thing about our craft, about our art form, the motion picture, that we have to make it together. And even though we have to do so, it cannot be seen as a given that people will want to come and work on one vision. So to everyone who is involved, to everyone who's watching, to everyone who has watched, to everyone who has seen, thank you.